Hello guys, it's Danny at Partay. So I've got something real quick I want to show you. First off though, I am going to zoom in just a bit so that you guys can see current settings. So you'll notice that the brightness is set at 0, contrast I've got it bumped to about 4, just a small little bump. Color about 12 out of 50. Gamma we should be at 2, there we are. Set it back to 2. Color settings are all default. Dynamic black is off. Brightness mode is in eco. So you can see where we are there. There's no enhanced gaming, anything or on like that, right? So just generic settings for the most part. You know, I've got a little bit of a contrast bump going on there, but that's about it. And I'm setting in all of the light in this room. The camera set on auto, so it's running through. I'm watching as the ISO kind of dips and climbs as it's trying to auto adjust. But that's the best way for me to get an accurate picture in the brightness of this room. I don't want to play with the settings of the camera. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I watched a video this weekend where yet again, there's one particular culprit out there who always likes to spread a lot of misinformation. And I want to set the record straight for this particular item. So many times we've talked about how the light in the environment, okay, the light here does not interfere with the light coming from the projector source. Anywhere between the source, okay, the point that it leaves the projector to the point that it makes it to the screen. All of the ambient light battle happens at the screen surface. And, you know, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he said a lot of times people use really high caliber projectors like in churches and things like that because they have to, because the distance that the projector's traveling. That is inaccurate. As a matter of fact, a lot of the churches that we install in still use projectors anywhere in the ballpark of about 2,600 up to about 4,200 lumens. And they use different lenses, different aperture mechanisms, which actually allow them to cast that from a further distance because it's too complicated to try to set it within 12 feet or 10 and a half feet from the screen surface. So they use different apertures, right? So you get one that has a custom lens for that kind of distance. It's not because the light here is impeding the light that's coming from the projector. Light from the projector, so light does not crash into each other. It passes through each other essentially. Now there are some exotic forms of light, radiation, light, all light's radiation, right? So there are some exotic forms that actually, like gamma, that will impede each other, but that's not the case when we're dealing with projector light. This is not the Bruce Banner model that we have here. This is actually just a standard Optima HD 143X, right now set in eco mode, pushing somewhere in a ballpark of about 16 to 1700 lumens, somewhere in that ballpark, on a black screen. Okay, and this is our black screen. And I'm going to let you listen to what this individual said. And I'm just going to show you this little clip here because I don't want to misquote him. Okay, so I think it's best that you hear it from his mouth.
Some may say, well, look, the picture looks a little dark. It's 1,100 lumen projector traveling at 13 feet, 12 to 13 feet in a fully lit environment. So I doubt it's 1,100 lumens by the time it makes it to the screen. That's why they give you, when people do distance on a projector, they go with the most high power projector they can get. Because there's no such thing as your projector being 3,000 lumens, and depending on how much light you have in the environment, by the time it makes it to the screen, you're going to have exactly 3,000 lumens. No, you're not. You're going to have less than 3,000 lumens. That's why they always use a projector of a higher caliber, like 5,000, 6,000, because by the time it makes it to the destination of the screen, it pretty much has a decent amount of lumens to be able to project an image. There's a lot of science behind this, and just sitting a projector down and saying, boom, hey, it works. You have to explain. And I have people tell me, well, you know, you explain too much. I have to explain. I have to tell you exactly how this all works. Now, some of you already know this already, and some of you don't. This gives you a chance to educate you. If you know this already, ask for it.
Okay, so once again, that is not accurate. Now what I'm going to do is to show you that I've got an 800 lumen lamp that I'm going to turn on that is facing directly. You can see I've got it facing directly at the lens for the projector. No impact, right? What does impact is the light that's up ahead. Now this is a Diamante screen. This is just our Diamante line. Excuse me, let me turn that back on. So this is our Diamante line. It's definitely blacker than the Sirius and brighter than the Sirius, but I'm really using this panel just to add a little shade up here so that you can see it's the light. You see that little vertical line here? That's the shade. You can see it's the light up above that's impacting the surface of the screen, not the light leaving the projector to here. Because if that was the case, it would look very different. I want you to pay attention. When I shut this off, you'll notice it really doesn't get brighter. It's just able to cut through better. See? It didn't get brighter. It's not like the light from the projector got way brighter. It's just that there's less impact to the screen. See? That's it. The same amount of light is there, and the same amount of light generally would be there, guys, if I was 18 feet back or 21 or 25 feet back. The light would be the same traveling from the projector to the screen. The thing that stops that from happening is, one, if I go 25 feet back, I can't adjust the zoom on this enough to get a 100-inch image. And even if I could, because of the way the apertures work in most of these projectors, they're not customized for that. So when you zoom completely out, you diminish the amount of light that's coming through your aperture anywhere from 20, according to the model of projector that you have, anywhere from 20 to 50% of your brightness will be gone. But if you had the aperture that would allow you from 25, 30 feet away to zoom it in a very tight angle to make a 100-inch image, wouldn't matter how much light you had in between, as long as it wasn't hitting the screen surface, it would still look beautiful. Because you would have your full amount of light coming from your projector, unobstructed by the aperture device, and it would be coming at this. If you think about it, guys, that is the concept of a laser. Okay, that's how lasers work. It's a very tight band of light. That's the reason it stays very potent. But even lasers over time would dissipate. As a matter of fact, one article that I was reading said that if you shot just one of those little handheld lasers that people shoot at airplanes, stupidly sometimes, to the moon, it would actually cover a surface. You wouldn't be able to see it if you were on the moon because it would be so dim, but it would be there. The same light would be there, but it would spread across a diameter of somewhere in the ballpark of about 4 miles. From here to there. That's how far the beam angle would spread in that distance. So it's always the spread or the aperture that's keeping you from being able to get the image size that you want from long distances. So you would have to have, that's the reason JVC, Sony's, things like that. For large venue projectors, they carry specific lenses for those. You can buy the projector without a lens and get the type of lens that you want from them. So once again, just, be careful the information that you're listening to out there, because it's really disheartening to me to hear somebody that's been doing this supposedly for 8+ years that still doesn't understand the field that they're in and is spreading so much bad information out there. So you guys be smart. Shop smart, take care, and we'll be back to talk to you about ProFlex very soon. Take care.